Hi, my name is Mike Ward. I'm the Global Director of Content at Informa Pharma Insights, the publishers of Scrip and The Pink Sheet. We're here at Bio Spring in Barcelona, where across the world, biotech, pharmaceutical, investors all get together to sort of talk about recent trends, talk about potential deals that they're going to do. I'm joined today by Cheni Kwok, who's Head of Business Development at a Chinese antibody technology company called Shanghai Henilus Biotech. So welcome, Cheni,
Thank you.
to Europe. And so you guys, you're an antibody technology company with a very, very big interest in the biosimilar space. Biosimilars is really, really hot at the moment. We know, what's happening in the world. A lot of the key biologics drugs are going off patent, but there's an awful lot of people who are wanting a piece of that pie. So, how is your company, differentiating itself from everybody else in the biosimilar space?
So a little bit about Shanghai Henilus Biotech. We actually founded ourselves in San Francisco Bay Area.
Oh, right, okay.
And then with the technology and the know-how from the big farmers, the founders actually went back to Shanghai and formed a joint venture with Shanghai Fosun farmer.
Yeah.
And with that was 7 years ago. And we actually built our core capability in both the research, clinical development, and manufacturing.
Right.
And now we're in the leading position in China to develop the first biosimilar. Rituxan biosimilar will be the first in market in China next year.
Right.
It's a very exciting time, it's a transformation time. And also we have a Herceptin biosimilar, which we are doing at phase 3 in both China and also Europe. Your question about differentiation. We built a very broad portfolio of biosimilar, followed on by a very broad portfolio in also novel antibodies. The idea is to have combinations. We can provide our partners around the world the unique combination therapies that are like good PD-1s, good PD-L1s, with a biosimilars that we know well that works. And our vision is to provide affordable healthcare globally. Right. Together with us and our partner. We have the European quality, we have the Chinese price, and we want to make sure that affordability is not going to be an issue to benefit every single patient, especially cancer patient, which is our core focus worldwide.
So it's interesting. So you mentioned Rituxan and Herceptin,
yes.
which are they have Bay Area fingerprints all over them. So those are biosimilars that you have developed, and as you say, they're already in the registration process.
Correct. In phase 3.
In phase 3.
Yes.
And the plan is that you might be able to launch them in the Chinese market next year. Are you going to be focusing your biosimilars then just on the Chinese market, or so how do you
expand the pie to global?
Yeah.
So we want to make sure we get our first launch in China with Rituxan. With Herceptin, we're doing concurrent filing in both EMA and China. Yeah. That's why to realize our vision about the European standard, but Chinese price.
Right.
And with that, we're hoping that we'll be finding strategic partners in this conference to help us to realize the vision elsewhere outside of China. Right.
So, but these are commercial partners.
Correct.
Okay. And so what would a commercial partner or an attractive commercial partner look like to your company?
For us, we wanted to see whether they have a good broad geographical territories, where they have clinical and regulatory expertise, because they are also the commercial channels in order to retail the sales and marketing for that. So those are the key kind of criteria we're looking for a strategic partner.
Now you mentioned it, and it's the idea of you sort of European or Western quality, but Chinese pricing.
That's right.
What does Chinese pricing look like? I mean, have you sort of thought about what that's going to do, and would that also transfer into the rest of the world?
So what we want to make sure there's a healthy margin, and we know there's a lot of competition. And we want to make sure there's a healthy profit margin, but at the same time, affordability is key. Where price control, a lot of countries have government regulation in terms of what the pricing would bring. With a very good cost of goods that we have, we actually optimize every step of the way. We have a lot of people that make sure that the cell line is highly optimized for commercial production scale, so we can bring the costs down really low, and that's key. Differentiation.
And will your company have its own commercialization infrastructure? Will you be doing the selling, or will you have partners in China and other places?
So our lead product, Rituxan biosimilar, that one will be sold by Fosun Pharma.
Right.
But then Herceptin biosimilar is also in phase 3 right now. We intend to have our own marketing sales force in China.
Right.
And also we have a commercial manufacturing plant in place with GMP certification and a QP certification from EMA. So that will assure the quality for global supply.
Right. Now, what's interesting, you mentioned also that you have your own R&D capabilities where you're actually developing your own novel antibodies. So is this two business models running in parallel, or is the biosimilar sort of an easy sort of testing in the market waters for you to actually become a major antibody company?
It's more a reflection of the history of the company. They want to start with biosimilar because we want to make sure that we know how to make at the highest quality as an originator.
Yeah.
Now we have all that in place. Next thing is, can we make something novel from scratch and have our own discovery effort, and then to tap into the manufacturing and sales and capability, because the biosimilars will be first on the market.
Yeah.
With that, build our presence and our brand and quality assurance to the physician, combining with the novel is what we wanted to do.
Right, okay. And you mentioned that you're here to find partners that will help you on the sort of the biosimilars program. What about on the novel proprietary antibodies?
We're doing both
what are you
things.
doing there as well?
We're looking for partners that share the reward and shares the risk, co-development, and trying to expand the clinical development plan worldwide. We're also in licensing. Last year we did 2 in-licensing projects at the preclinical stage, bringing interesting, attractive assets with novel IP, and then to bring it forward in the pipeline.
Okay, so the company's 7 years old, but you seem to have done quite a lot of things.
We have been very busy.
In 7 years. So what is the vision for the company? I mean, do you always envisage yourselves being seen as a Chinese company, or is there something else?
We are looking globally, starting with the China market, expanding into the global outlook. I mean, our roots is also in San Francisco Bay Area. We would like to be in the US sometime. But we know that the European biosimilar regulations is more mature. That also allow us to get into all the emerging countries easier. So let's get the EMA approval. And then with the right partner, we also expand in the US. So we're definitely a global company in the future, one step at a time.
Okay, great. Well, Cheni, thanks very much for
It's a
stepping
real
by.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.